Everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you had a great day. Alrighty, so today I'm talking about, it's actually a continuation of sexual preferences and sexual self-disclosures. You all know, those that are following me, those that know about me, those that know what I've talked about before, that I love talking about sexual preferences, communication, what you are doing with your partner, and telling your partner whether you like it or not. Now, I know this is a world we live in where we really do not communicate well, especially sexually. And I really want to change that. I'm going to be here to push the envelope. I really want you to know it's a new world. We are going to make demands and we're going to say that we want to have certain things happen to us that we love, right? And certain things that we don't love, we don't want happening to us. So we've got to be honest. There are so many reasons why we can't be honest, right? And the number one reason is how we're brought up. We're brought up in a way that sometimes we're not taught how to communicate. So the question is, are you aware of it? Do you know that you are not a great communicator? Every one of us, you and me. So I really want us to change that. I want us to be aware that we have to learn how to become better communicators, better in telling our partner what we want in the bedroom in order to get what? Your great orgasm. You're not going to get your great orgasm if you're not communicating honestly with your partner as to what your desires are and what makes you aroused and what turns you on and what really gets you hot and heat up in the bedroom. So you need to be able to disclose that to your partner. I'm emphasizing this because I know we don't do this. I have stories. I can tell you tons of stories about, men and women that are just not engaging and being honest. Now, if you're lucky and you have an honest, straightforward partner, man or woman, then you don't need to worry. But for the rest of us that don't have partners that are able to really honestly tell you what they want, meaning the guys telling you what they want, and the girls, the ladies telling the guys what they want, right? So this is again for long-term relationships. This is for even marriages. If it's a short term fling, no, this is not for you. But this is for those that really want to get intimate and really want to get into the relationship, sexually especially, and get that orgasm every time you connect sexually. All right. All right. Now, I want to touch a little bit about why we are not communicating well. So I'll give you an example. When we're young, right? When we were growing up, we were being cared for. We were loved, hopefully, right? Some were not loved. And when you're not loved, you have no idea how to love. I'll say it again. When we grew up as little kids, right? Toddlers, 5-year-old, 10, 15, 18, 20. If we did not have a loving family, a mother and a father, the father representing the male figure, who the male child will follow and copy, while the female child will learn to interact with the male, learn how to respect, learn how the male is different, versus the mother, right? The mother is the one that really is in charge of communication, how you communicate, right? How you love, how you nurture your future partner, whether you're the male or the female. You'll learn from your mother how to love, all right? So your mother is very important. Who's more important, the male or the female, the mother or the father? I'm going to say they're equally important. I am not going to say there's a bias there. But if you didn't have a mother and a father growing up, you missed the experience of loving and sharing and communicating. And that is what happens when you turn into an adult. You're not able to share and love and enjoy intimacy with your partner because you didn't have it when you were growing up. You need to get therapy so that you can address those deficiencies, those unmet needs that you had and experienced so that you can forgive, forget, and move on. If you don't, you will not be able to share intimately with your partner, with any partner. I don't care who it is. You'll go from one relationship to the next, and you'll be empty. You're missing out on connecting. Now, obviously, if you didn't have it as a child, you don't know what you're missing. You're going to say, so what? Big deal. What's the big deal? And I'm going to say, it's a matter of quality of life. It's a matter of longevity. It's a matter of how long you live. And then on your dying bed, you'll say, did I really enjoy life? Right? Did I really get what I wanted from life? Yeah, you could have money, but did you have love? Did you have a relationship where you poured into each other and you grew and you became one and you learned how it was to be elevated by someone else and by each other in a relationship where you grow and experience the most intense love and the most intense emotional connection that you could ever imagine with someone who, through thick or thin, it's not going to be perfect. You're going to have good days and bad days, but who's willing to connect, agree, right? That compatibility I talked about before. Go back to my talk. I love my talk on compatibility. But you want to know that you have someone that you can actually disclose how you're feeling, whether sexually or not, and have preferences and say, this is what I prefer, and they listen. If you don't have that, you are being neglected in your relationship, right? So you want to have a long-term relationship in the end, if you can. If you desire, if you don't, this is not for you. This is for those that really want to be in a long-term loving relationship where they get the benefits of loving one another, okay? Rationally, no irrational stuff here, okay? I know there are crazy people out there. I am not talking to the crazy people, all right? Remember, I need to do a test. Who's crazy, who's not, right? But I want you to know that you have to be rational. If you're not, get some help, get some therapy. But this topic, this sexual disclosure, this sexual preferences, you have to be rational. You cannot be irrational. You got to be your feet on the ground, and you've got to realize you're going to take some low blows. Maybe you're going to be insulted, but you handle it calmly and coolly. Why? That is what mature men and women do in mature relationships. Okay. I am going to pick it. I am going to go down to the park and I'm going to get people and we're going to have signs, right? Picket signs that say, I want to tell you what I like in the bedroom, right? That's the sign. I want to tell you what I want, what I like in the bedroom, because that is what we are supposed to do. And for some reason, we don't. Again, we know the reasons. We didn't have a great upbringing, but we can correct that if we know. But the question is, do we know that we don't have great communication? A lot of you all think you have great communication. A lot of you think you're great. Men, I'm talking to you in particular, you guys don't like to talk. We do. So you need to understand us women in order to have a great relationship and learn how to communicate, learn how to talk. If you can't, get some help, get some therapy by a professional, okay? That's the key. If your relationship is missing something, guys, it's the communication. It's the deep, intimate conversations that you're missing, that you have to be vulnerable sometimes. I'm not saying all the time. There should be a balance. You should know who it is you're talking to, of course, but you have to know that without that deep opening up of your heart to someone, you will be missing the most exquisite experience of love that you can ever have. Okay? All right. Enough about that. Let's go back to what I have on the table here, which is to share or not to share. There are some great points where there are benefits of sharing. And I really wanted to touch those few points that I have here so that you'll know why I really want you to share your preferences and disclose what you like and don't like in the bedroom sexually. Because studies show women who share their sexual preferences have happier relationships and sexual satisfaction. Notice they said women, right? They said women. So women more than men really get happy when we are disclosing what we want. We become like little kids with candy. Oh my gosh, he's asking what I want in the bedroom. That makes us so happy and gives us sexual satisfaction. All right, guys, I'm going to say it again. I hope your ears are open. Guys, we women love to tell you what we want in the bedroom. If we're not telling you what we like in the bedroom, the relationship is just fake. It's a false relationship. It's just a pretense. All right? So they're there for other reasons, ulterior reasons. I hope you know that. If a woman doesn't engage and tell you, hey, baby, this is what I like in the bedroom, you are not in a serious relationship. Now, there could be other reasons why she's not telling you, but I'm telling you now that, yeah, religious reasons. I'm not talking about religions that are not westernized. I want to talk more about the US, right? If you're in a relationship where you are not having a great conversation with your partner, with your woman, something's going on, something's wrong. Okay, now get to the bottom of it, guys. You guys can do that. Open her up, talk to her, encourage her. Just say, hey, babe, what's going on? What do you want in the bedroom? What do you want me to do to make you satisfied in the bedroom? And, try it. If it doesn't work, try something again. Ask her again. Do you want me to do this? Want me to do that? Have that open discussion. We're going to talk about that in the future. I really want to get into how to have that conversation. And I really want you guys to write it down. I mentioned that before with your compatibility. I really want you to get an agreement together. Both of you write it down. This is what I want, babe. That's what I want, babe. This is what I don't want, babe. That's what I don't want, babe. Talk about boundaries. Talk about what you want to bring in terms of toys. If you want toys, if you don't want toys, you can say that too. But put that down so they're both on the same page. And then sign it, put it in a vault, put it under your mattress, put it somewhere safe to keep for the future. You can bring it back out again and modify it. It's not something you're going to use legally, right? This is not a legal document. This is just something that your relationship can use, but that you're both on the same page, clear, and have no doubt about what you both want under those sheets. I love that idea. And I'm going to go touring the US of A and telling everybody the same thing. We're going to have some tours, guys, to get ready for that. I really want you to tell your partner what you want, because the women get so happy. And yeah, we do get happier than the guys. Okay, yeah, that's life. We're not you guys, we're women. We need to have that conversation to feel secure, okay? To feel we're safe, okay? Secure and safe. We just feel that you care for us and that you love us, and then we can relax and we can open up and enjoy sex with you. Only if you're able to bring out what our desires are. So remember, that's the secret weapon. If you want a secret weapon to get a woman, talk to her and ask her what she wants in the bedroom. That's a start. I'm not guaranteeing that's going to keep the woman. I'm just saying that's a good start to get that juice flowing with her, knowing that you care, because a lot of women will look at that and count that as an enormous plus in a relationship. Okay? Number 2, men who share their sexual preferences are slightly happier in relationships. All right, I know. Guys are not getting that big high that we get, women. And that's okay. We are different for a reason. So guys, just know, yeah. You guys don't get that big high like we do, but you do get slightly happier. And women need to know this. Please understand that it's okay. I guess their high testosterone makes them different. And that's, again, a difference we need. We need them to have testosterone. We don't want to take it away from them. So you have to really agree that, yeah, they really don't want to talk about their preferences. For them, it's not a big deal. Why? Because they can easily have their, orgasm. We are a little bit different. We need more security. We need more confirmation that, we're in love. For most of us, not all, but a lot of us want more confirmation. And again, this is for those that have difficulties having orgasms. You really need some confirmation that you're in a secure arrangement. I think that really is the difference for some women. Again, not for all. But men, they're like, oh yeah, whatever. I can tell you what, but it's not a big deal. And I don't think men need to. Again, they have a much easier time having an orgasm. So instead, they enjoy their partner's ability to share her preferences. Now that's a plus. So the guys love to hear us tell them what we like. Now, obviously, the way you tell them is going to matter, right? You don't want to tell them in a way that they're going to feel that you're making certain demands, right? So you want to say it in a way that's sexy and subtle and gentle and coy, just do that feminine thing, right? And make them feel that they're King Kong so that they can know that they are in charge and they really are responsible for being able to do what you tell them to do. So be direct, be clear, and make sure that they understand what you're saying and make sure you understand yourself what you're saying. But they really do enjoy, and this is studies in general, not everybody, they enjoy their partner's ability to tell them, the guys, about their preferences. I love that. So there are guys out there that really love to hear it. Now, of course, there are guys that don't. And if you have that situation, get help, therapy, therapy, therapy. That's not fair. Guys, don't be one of those that don't listen or don't ask about your partner's sexual preferences, okay? All right, another point. Men don't need to share specific sexual preferences. They don't need instructions to their partner. So they don't need to tell them what to do for them. They just don't, because they just do what they need to do, right? And it's easy for them. One, two, three, they can be done, right? And some women can too. But generally, men do not need to share their preferences for them to get an orgasm. And I'm saying a lot of women do. Okay, so that's a big difference I want you to notate. Men don't need to share their preferences. They don't need to tell you what they need. But when women do, men feel better equipped to sexually satisfy her. So when you're telling them that you have a preference, they're going to feel more confident that they can satisfy you sexually. So that's another benefit in telling them, okay? Please tell your men what you need because they'll know what to do and they'll feel more in control and be able to say, okay, I think I'm going to satisfy her and have more confidence, right? Stars, the big star here. So men have better sex when their partner is more open and self-disclosing than when their partner is not open and not self-disclosing. So men really do get happy, just slightly earlier on, when you tell them that you are having a preference, right? They get happier slightly when they tell you about themselves. Yeah, they're really not into that, and women still ask, right? I always believe in asking, but with the fact that men have better sex when you're, as a woman, more open, I think that's cool too. Okay, so men have better sex. They really enjoy it more when you disclose. Now, there is a balance there, right? So if you're a little bit more involved sexually or do more things than your partner, be gentle, go slow, right? Remember, have that agreement, have that conversation, what you like and what you don't like, always before the bedroom. Remember, we talked about that in being compatible. So when you are in a relationship, when your partner is actually talking to you, when the female partner is talking to the male partner, they feel more confident, right? And happier. So that is great for the relationship. Okay. Next point, avoidant attachments lead to lower self-disclosure. So avoidant, I talked about it earlier, just a few minutes ago, where I said if you avoid, you know, conversations. It's because how you were brought up. You didn't have a childhood. You didn't have a relationship, whether it's your mother, father, grandparents, aunts, uncles. You didn't have that love. You didn't have that connection on how to connect. And so you're avoidant. You tend to avoid connecting, maybe unbeknownst to you. You don't even realize it. So think about it. If you're not having great relationships, it could be unknowingly. Remember, you have to open your mind. You have to be able to step out of your skin and say, okay, let me look and see it myself without being in your body. Sometimes you got to step out and look at yourself, right? And study yourself and say, hey, maybe I'm having problems because of this, that, or this. Or ask questions. Again, therapy will help you also find out whether that's an issue. But avoidant attachments, which you can find in therapy, they have lower self-disclosure. So if you are not talking to your partner, you probably have an avoidant type of attachment. Okay, and that needs help. You want a secure attachment. Okay. All right. People want to maintain privacy. That's a big word because I'm very private too. There should be a balance between the desire to both share and retain privacy over their sexual function. So sexual function can be so delicate and so sensitive, right? So sometimes men won't say what their, sexual dysfunction is, and sometimes women won't. We need to stop that. We need to be able to say from the get-go. Remember, write it down, disclose preferences, talk about things that you have going on so that you can anticipate that issue that might arise before it happens. I'm big into that. I said that before. Get there before it happens, right? Get there before the problem occurs. Try to solve it before it even comes to be a problem. You need to be aware that you can do this if you're in a relationship where you're able to communicate and talk. Be honest and say, hey, I have a problem in the bedroom, have an erection, guys, right? I dislike when you guys do not tell your partner you have a problem. Why? We're going to know. And we may keep quiet, which is not healthy, which is not good. That's negative energy. Instead, you have an open conversation and both of you talk about what you can do to take care of it. Now, I know you all are scared. Men are scared of certain things, right? Sexually, feel your ego, right? You don't want to go and say to the doctor, hey, I have a problem that needs to be fixed. And it's such an easy fix, guys, generally. Now, there might be some medical issues going on, which we need to find out. The earlier we find out, the better. And I'm telling you right now, we can help you. The earlier, the better. Leave it too late, it becomes difficult to treat. So please get that physical, okay? Get that prostate check, guys, right? Get your hormones checked, testosterone for both men and women. Get them checked. But you need to be able to know when you have a sexual dysfunction, you need to be able to discuss it openly with your partner, both men and women. Now, women, we can have a little bit more of a problem because we can get away with things. I mean, you guys have to do the work, right? In getting up, right? Physically, your physical erection has to happen. So we're going to see it. With us, we don't need to do that. So the difference is you guys probably have a more difficult time owning up to that. But we want that to happen. We want you to tell us if you have a problem. If I could, and I'm telling you, I'm working on it. If I could have a machine that I could point at you and it'll tell me the strength of your erection, the strength of your ejaculation, the strength and maybe the size of your penis. I want to do that too. The strength and the size of your orgasm. I want to know whether you're healthy. That's the ultimate goal here. The healthier you are, the more sexual function you're going to have. I've always said it. That's one of my best quotes. Greater sex, greater health, right? If you have great sex, tells me you have great health, and greater sex, greater health. If you're having greater sex, you're having greater health. So it's both ways. Great health leads to great sex, and great sex leads to great health. It tells me both ways that you're doing well. So if you're not having great sex, there is a problem with your health. So let's check your heart. That's where I start. Your heart. Could be a prostate, could be something else. I start with your heart. Get that full physical, guys. And women too. Pap smears, mammograms, get those physicals. We don't want it to be too late when we discover anything. We want to get it now. We save lives now. And I've done it over and over and over again. I can't tell you countless times how many lives I've saved. And I want to save your life too by telling you that if you're not functionally sexually well, you're having a problem with your health. So get your health checked out, which is why they say here, when you're private, you could be too private. There's got to be a balance, right? There should be a balance between the desire to retain privacy, right, over your sexual function. So yeah, I know it's hard to talk about, but get help. If you want to talk about it too much, go get help so that you don't have to talk about it too much. Because if you get help, it's better, then we don't have to talk about it too much. But if you're not getting help and it's not better, we're going to talk about it. So get help. And I'm going to say that Viagra and Cialis is the best pill out there. Do you know it brings down blood pressure, Viagra and Cialis? Hello? It's the best blood pressure medicine that's not a blood pressure medicine. Okay, so I love to use it on my patients because it's great for circulation. Okay, so you do need to know that guys and women, men and women need to know Viagra and Cialis is great for your blood pressure. So I give it to people every day, low dose. Okay, the Cialis. Okay, and if you have a prostate issue, amazing for your prostate. So get on Cialis. Well, talk to your doctor about getting on Cialis or Viagra. It is great for you. Brings your blood pressure down. It's an addition to your other medications that you're taking if you're taking things for blood pressure. But it is the most profound and the most useful medication that you can take in terms of sexual function because it really does help a lot. And yes, there are other herbs and supplements, but I can tell you that talk to your provider regarding the Viagra and Cialis, which are very cheap right now, extremely cheap. Okay. All right. The next point I have here is, and I think this is close to the final point. There are three types of self-sexual desires. So when you're talking about your sexual self desires, there are three types of people that talk about their sexual self desires. Okay, number one, the seasoned sexual self desire person. So when you have a seasoned person, you experience efficacious sexual self disclosure. Okay, I think that's a desirement disclosure. So seasoned sexual self disclosure people that disclose, that are seasoned, they're called seasoned, they experience efficacious sexual self disclosure. So they're very good at telling people what they want in the bedroom. That's the first type, the seasoned. The first type is the seasoned. They're able to tell you exactly what they want in the bedroom. Isn't that beautiful? Aren't you jealous, ladies? Wouldn't you love to be one of those seasoned? Just you go in and you say, hey, this is what I want, right? Isn't that beautiful? That is exactly what we all want to be. Number one, seasoned. The second type is relationally constrained sexual self disclosure. They report concerns for disclosing and are paired with avoidance. So they're really the one that doesn't talk much about it, right? They're restrained and they really do not want to disclose it. And they are the ones coming from that avoidant attachment. Okay. And those are the people that you don't want to be or meet because then you're going to be frustrated in the bedroom. And I find it to be very boring when you meet people like that. So just realize you want someone honest, someone open. And if you're not, become honest, become open so that you can learn how to be happier and happy in your relationship. Okay. So relationally constrained, people that just hold back, right? We don't want that. Number three, functional sexual self-disclosure. So when you're functional, you use verbal disclosure, you use the words as a preferred tool for managing sexual issues in relationships with less regard for the relationship as a whole. So you're in it for the sex. That's it. It's business. It's like, I just want to get in there and get out. You're not really in it for the relationship. So you really want to see somebody that is more interested in the relationship, which is why you want to do this in long-term relationships, right? So that person that's functional, they're just in there and they're like, okay, I want you to do this. If you can't do this, let me know. Otherwise, bye. See ya. They're gone. Okay? Or they'll insult you, right? So you're going to be careful. People like this are people that are basically selfish. Probably we can tie it back to one of the traits, right? The personality traits. So those are the three types of sexual self-disclosure people. And you really want to aim for the seasoned sexually self-disclosing person. Okay? And the last one I have here is true sexual self-disclosures help both the relationship in general and help sex in particular. So it's going to help your relationship to disclose your preferences, your likes, your dislikes, your boundaries, what you want to introduce, right? What you've done before or what you like to do in the future. So much so that it only, affects sex, but it affects your general relationship. So not only does it affect your sex, it also affects your general relationship, which means overall longevity, longer life, longer happiness. And that's all we ask for, right? To be happy and to enjoy our life as we get older. Okay, guys? All right. I hope you learned something today. I will see you soon. Have a good night. And again, happy Valentine's Day. Ciao.